Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Alex and over here on Alex vs Eyeshadow we like to pan makeup. I did end up taking a little bit of a hiatus towards the end of last year. I just had a few things going on in my life. Nothing too serious, nothing too crazy, but it just meant that my panning goals fell by the wayside. But I'm super excited to be back now that it's January and to give everything another go. So I don't think I'm going to wrap up my Pan Those eyeshadows from last year. I know that's a bit annoying, but no further progress was made and it's kind of old news and I just want a bit of a fresh start really. I'm actually mega excited to be starting Pan Those eyeshadows all over again, brand new fresh start. I'm so here for it. I really like this project because it encourages you to be a bit more adventurous with your eyeshadow collection and perhaps force you to use those shades that you wouldn't consider using normally when you get into the routine of life and the makeup that you're using. Most creators do this a slightly different way, but the way that I do it is I just use a random number generator to randomly generate 5 eyeshadows. Last year I was persevering and trying to get pan on every single eyeshadow before I rolled it out. This year I think that strategy might be where I fall down, as I do have quite a lot of new eyeshadows in my eyeshadow collection, so it's unlikely that I'm going to be able to get quick pans. But I still want to be able to use this project to work through eyeshadows, so for that reason I will be putting a 20 use limit on eyeshadows in this project. So I can go over those 20 uses if I feel like I am approaching a pan, but if I get to the 20 uses then it is fine for me to roll out the eyeshadow and roll something else in. I think it's time to roll in the eyeshadows, the best part of the project. This is the best bit at the start of the year. I'm going to start looking over here a little bit now, just because I'm going to get a random number generator up on my laptop. I think when I first started doing this project, my eyeshadow collection was in the 200s and now we have 421 eyeshadows. So that's quite a lot of new eyeshadow to be working with. I want to make sure that I don't just get stuck using 5 brand new eyeshadows for the whole of the year. The way that I do it is I just use a random number generator and all of my eyeshadows are in a spreadsheet with a number associated to them. The number that is generated ends up being the eyeshadow that I'm going to work on. And our first number is 214, 310, 10, 13 and 75. I feel like we've got a good mix of old and new there. I'm going to go and get the shades out and show you what we've got. I have grabbed the eyeshadow palettes and I don't know what it is about this project, but the Cosmic Brushes Serenity palette just has to be in it. I don't think that it's ever not been in this project, but whatever. I'm not mad about it. I love that palette. The first number was 114 and that is in my Beauty Bay Rich palette, which I think we all remember from last year as well. I think this was in my deck of panning project pan. And we've rolled in the shade Mulberry. Where are you, Mulberry? We've rolled in the shade Mulberry, which is this sort of deep purpley brown shade. It does look a lot more purple on camera than it does when I'm looking at it. Very similar to one of the shades in, I think it was Fig that we were working on last year in the Muse palette. Very similar to that. I think this is probably going to end up being a 20 use shade because of those deep dark shades. They're quite hard to get pan on because they're usually used for deepening up rather than a whole big part of the look. So that's Mulberry swatched out and it is basically a dupe of Fig, which we were working on last year, but that's fine. That's okay. The next shade we rolled in was shade 310, which is from my Singe Agate Temptation palette. And it was the shade Plume, which is this lovely deep dark green shade. And oh my God, I just love this palette. I love this palette. It's so beautiful and I'm so glad that this is going to be in the rotation and get some use on all of these lovely shades. So a very dark and moody and Halloweeny at the minute. Shade 10 and 13 were both in my BH Cosmetics Nude Ego. And this was in the project last year as well, I believe. We panned the shade Stunner because BH Cosmetics is a bit of a budget brand. I thought it was going to be a nice, easy pan with a little bit of eyeshadow in, but those pans are small but deep. It was a bit of a graft to get to that pan. So we've rolled in the shade Courage, which is shade number 10, which is this mid-toned, where is it? This mid-tone sort of shimmery, pinky sort of orangey shade, a nice neutral everyday shade, and that is Courage there. That's lovely. Shade 13 was Soul, a pale neutral brown. Again, a nice easy shade. That could be like a one and done, well, a two and done look, those two together. And then these could be like weird, like deepening up shades. I'm not mad about it. And then finally, would it be Alex versus Eyeshadow, pan those eyeshadows without the Cosmic Brushes Serenity palette? No, it wouldn't. The panning gods have decided we are panning the shade Ether, which is, oh wow, okay, which is this beautiful blue to lilac sort of duochrome. Is that this blue to lilac duochrome? And then it's also got like green twinkles in it as well. Such a stunning shade, really beautiful. It's not going to focus, but that is our final shade. Let's put it at the top here. Oh, she's a beauty. So a bit of a mishmash of colours there, I've got to say. It's a little bit intimidating, but I'm definitely going to make it work. There's some deep dark grunginess in there, which I quite like. A couple of easy, like one and done eyeshadow shades, so we should get through these pretty easily. And then we've got a few fun things here just to mix it up a little bit. So yeah, I think we can make that work. And that is why I enjoy this project, because it forces you out of your comfort zone and it forces you to enjoy the weird and wonderful shadows in your collection as well as the basic everyday ones. I am aiming to do a no pan left behind on every palette that gets rolled into this project as well. I've also been super inspired by Linda from the Glitter Fallout here on YouTube and her one palette in 7 days series. So I have been thinking about selecting one of my palettes that gets drawn for Pan Those Eyeshadows to be used to do that challenge as well alongside this, just to make sure that I'm getting use on not just specific eyeshadows but being able to enjoy whole palettes for what they are as well. Let me know if you think that's a good idea. I don't know. Super excited to start getting some progress on my eyeshadows again and getting all of my makeup used and loved, because what's the point in spending money on it if we're not going to be using it? Thank you so much for watching. I love having you here. Don't forget to leave me a like, because it does really help the channel out. And please do subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you over here permanently. But yeah, that's everything. So until next time, do take care. Thank you. Goodbye.